were passing a few ideas around, and kind of inspired by Clockwork Orange, we thought we'd have a name that was a paradox, you know, or like an oxymoron. We thought we'd, you know, make something like that. And so we got, like, you know, just the literal definitions, you know, of electric and touch, you know, something electric, something stirring, you know, and touch to be affected by, you know. And so we thought we were being really smart. And then when we were told it to everybody, they're like, oh, that sounds like a vibrator. That sounds a bit like a vibrator. And so pretty much in a nutshell, that's probably the group. You know, we thought we were being really clever, and then it comes down to, you know, sex. Yeah, I came here about 3.5 years ago as a musician, and I went to Austin and I fell in love with a girl. Day one, you know, the first person I met, it was, you know, I met the love of my life, so I fell in love with her. And, you know, just ended up always going back to Austin. I was living in London, and Austin was so full of warm, beautiful people, and it wasn't raining there, which was pretty awesome. So I was kind of hanging out in Austin, and Christopher and I had mutual friends, and we just ran into each other at a coffee shop. And, you know, we just hit it off as buddies and started hanging out, and before long, you know, the guitars came out, and we started jamming. And, you know, from the first demo, things got passed around, and we got signed from that, really. Okay. So yeah, I just fell in love with the place, you know. I was living in London, very difficult to survive there, you know. And Austin, Texas, is just a fantastic place. So I stayed there as long as I could, you know.
Well, I mean, you go back in the history of Austin, I mean, they had the 13th floor elevators, and that's one of our favorite bands. And we're actually playing with Rocky in Austin when we get back there. And you got Stevie Ray Vaughan, and you got this just very brotherhood of music there. You got all these singer-songwriters, you got all these hip-hop artists, you got everything from Carolyn Wonderland to Electric Touch, and ZZ Top's always down there, and Willie's always there, and it's just really nice. Everywhere you go, everyone is really down to see live music. Just, they like music everywhere.
Frenchie's the guy that introduced me to Christopher.
That's who I was with.
Yeah, Christopher was with Frenchie in a coffee shop, and when I ran into him, and Frenchie's been a friend of mine and Christopher's for a while. So really Frenchie was instrumental in kind of getting the group together, you know. And he's a lovely guy, and he's full of heart. And really, you know, we just had these demos and these songs we wanted to do. And you know, he went on a ride with us, really, and, you know, and kind of helped make it all happen. You know, helped us, you know, envision, you know, create what we envisioned, you know. So it's very, very important to the recording. Yeah, it's been fantastic. It's been a dream come true. Yeah, to play with two bands that are such amazing live bands, you know, for a start. But to be such amazing people, you know. Right from the first moment, you know, we knew we were in for a real treat with them. And it's just been a dream come true. I don't want it to end, to be honest. I could tour with these two bands for the rest of my life. This
is what we want to do, and being able to be in bands are just so cool to us, and it's just so every day is just stepping up from the night before, and I think every band is going to walk out of here a lot better band, you know. Yeah,
you learn a lot. You really do, from being on the road with a couple of great bands like that. You learn a lot real quick.
A lot of these people haven't seen us before, haven't heard of us, and to win over so many people at each show, and, you know, selling boxes of records a night, and, you know, that's awesome. Yeah, that's what's the cool thing about, like, the technology nowadays. I mean, you don't need a guitar or a piano. I mean, laptops you can sit there and, like, we have a little piano on my keyboard, so you do little riffs, and, you know, yeah, I mean, we get to warm up, and then we'll be jamming some new songs and stuff like that, and jamming a whole bunch of other stuff too, and it's just fun playing. I mean, we're always playing music non-stop, after shows, before shows. That's just what we do.
Yeah. Big fan of James Brown before shows. I am. Yeah. I like to YouTube it, you know, and find some old concerts, because there's so many on there, you know, that I've not seen. So I listen to a lot of James Brown, yeah, and Sly and the Family Stone, that kind of thing.
But I'm really getting into, right now, I just into one song, actually, Sam Cooke. Is it called Wonderful Day or Wonderful World? I don't know.
Which one is
Sam Cooke. I don't know too much about.
Don't know much about, yeah.
Geography.
What a wonderful world this will be.
Yeah, it's called Wonderful World. I just keep playing that song over and over again. We were in Detroit and we only got to see the brochures for Motown. It's closed. But that would have been really cool.
Yeah.
And even had a day off. But yeah, Motown, everything from Motown is just awesome.
Yeah, and you think back like what great music came from there. It's the reason why I think I came here, because rock and roll music, you know, jazz music and great American movies and literature, you know, there's so much amazing stuff in this country that, you know, for all the reading that we do and movies that we watch and records that we listen to, we're just scratching the surface. Maybe we'll be old men and we'll eventually get through it all, but I'm always turned on by, you know, by what's been created in this country. Well, you know, we recorded on tape first. We recorded on a 24-track studio machine, and so basically all the kind of the basic drums, you know, bass and guitars and singing and stuff was all done on that. And then afterwards we had some fun again with our laptops, you know, and we kind of introduced some elements that were always in the song, but we didn't quite know, you know, what instrument they'd be played on. We're pretty good about doing demos that pretty much tell the full story, and then we just kind of recreate it, you know, again in the studio. And you know, we like to really be true to the song. Whatever the song needs, you know, we'll put in, we'll do it, and it varies from song to song. And there's no real equation to it other than we like all the parts to be very, very simple on their own, and very easy to understand and very easy to play. But together, you know, we like to build up, so the sum of it, you know, is greater than its individual parts or whatever. So there are some kind of rules to it. But when it comes to creating, you know, in practice, putting down whatever it is, we just let our mind go, you know, and just go with whatever's right. And we recorded the album pretty quickly, so we made some decisions, and we just stuck with them, you know, what we thought was right at the moment, really. And that's what it's all about, you having a good time, you know, the fans having a good time and leaving their troubles at the door when they come to a show. Somebody said to us earlier that when they got the record they were having a terrible day, and they put it on when it got delivered. They bought it on the internet, it got delivered, and it brightened up their day, you know. That's pretty mind-blowing for us. So anyone out there that digs Electric Touch, or you haven't heard Electric Touch before, you know, come and check it out, and come to the show, because you make it all happen, really. It's all about you. It's not about our haircuts or how tight our pants are, you know. It's about them having a good time and kind of, you know, kind of vibing with us. Yeah.
And we're gonna stay true to ourselves, and
Yeah.
so stay true to yourself, and anything is possible. Like Sly says, you can make it if you try.
Yeah. And because this is the season for it, cast your vote. Don't forget to vote. There's no room for apathy this time around, so whoever you're gonna vote for, doesn't really matter. We don't really care who you vote for as long as you vote. But don't not vote and then, you know, moan about it afterwards. Make sure, go to Rock the Vote or whatever, you know, whatever is easy for you, but please vote. It's extremely important. And then after you vote, you know, there's still other things you can do. Volunteer for things, get involved in your community and stuff. I'm not trying to be boring or like a hippie, but
well, it's stuff we do.
Yeah, it's stuff we do, and it makes a difference. And if people just get up off their bum, you know, and do stuff in you know, in their immediate neighbourhood or whatever, that makes the world a lot better place. It's not just about one guy who was the president, you know. So yeah, that's something we're really serious about. I try and avoid it too blatantly, to be honest, because I don't like to preach to people. We have a song on the record called "Who Put the Fire Out," where we ask a lot of questions and we let them answer it. But yeah, you know, we want to make the world a better place, and we want to talk about love, but we'll do it in our way. You know, there's already some great people out there that do what they do, and for the great causes and all that, but we'll just do our way. We'll try and spread the, you know, a bit of love. But who knows, hopefully we won't have to get too involved, because people will get involved themselves. You know, that hopefully I'm not naive, but I firmly do believe that this next generation can make it a better place for everybody. You just need to get up and get involved and get into it, you know.